Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It's good to be here with you talking Star Wars. I am your host, Danzy. Welcome to Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook Live, CWK Live. That's every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, let's go. I'm fired up for tonight. Very excited to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. By now, it's very possible that you've heard my exciting news that I'm very, very excited to be able to talk about with everyone. Let's say hello to everybody who's here with us. Let's say hello to Minta. It's CWK Day. That's right. Good to have you, Minta, as always. Mary says, happy Monday, everyone. Hope all the dads had a great Father's Day. I had a wonderful Father's Day. It was amazing. My wife made some French toast for us, which I love. Had great lunch. I just had a really nice time and appreciate it. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day as well. Mason says hello to you, Mary. Mason is watching, of course, in a laptop in a galaxy not so far away in the Zare household. Hello, Jason. He said, good evening, everyone. So much to love about this week's episode, and I even left Cad Bane off of my list. Wow. How about that? Hello, Carter. Welcome, my friend. Good to have you back on Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook Live. Really looking forward to chatting with you. Josh, you're back, man. Hey, I was actually thinking about you today. I wonder if when you're gonna circle back around. It's good to have you. It says I haven't been here since way back in Replacements. It's been busy to say the least. I'm happy to be here live though. Miss again next week. It's okay. Hey, next week, Josh, you might not miss it. I've got 2 shows next week. 2 shows, which we'll talk about. Jamie, hello. Jamie is going to be the CWK Alliance Spotlight guest on the next Coffee with Kenobi. Very excited for that. Hello, Ben. Mason's here. Mason is fast. Good job, buddy. Impressive. Mason had a baseball game tonight. Got home, got ready, and he's here watching, having dinner. Love it. Hello, Ross. Good to have you, man. Amber is here too. Very, very good. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Andrew is here. Andrew, by the way, if you go to the CWK Cafe, I put that up as we were introducing the show earlier, but if you go into our CWK Cafe, which is our exclusive Coffee with Kenobi Facebook group, go to www.coffeewithkenobi.com/community. It's a wonderful place to talk Star Wars. It's family friendly. It is spoiler free, and we just share our collections and our fun theories and thoughts about Star Wars. But Andrew just got back from Galaxy's Edge, and he posted some of the cool stuff that he got. So be sure to check that out. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
Thank you, Tom Kane. Yes. So, what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week? I saved this picture earlier, and then I put it in here in the live program, and it took up the entire screen. So I'm going to switch real quick. I'll pull it in, and it's obnoxiously big. I couldn't get it smaller, but yes, you may have heard that I was able to announce last week that I wrote my second Coffee with Kenobi, right? I wrote my second Star Wars book. I was asked to be a contributor to the Star Wars Character Encyclopedia, updated and expanded edition. I'm very, very excited about it. It was great to be able to share it with everybody. I'll try to scroll through the cover a little bit, but it was pretty cool when I got to see the cover. I was really blown away by it. I'm very excited to share more about it. It goes on sale November 2nd. But yes, my second book, my second Star Wars book. So I'm very excited, very fortunate, very blessed, and I appreciate everyone's support. It's been quite a ride, and I'm excited to share more about it as the book comes out. But again, it comes out November 2nd. I'm sure we'll be talking about it quite a bit. Thank you so much, Josh, Minta. Yes, everybody has been very supportive, very wonderful, but of course you always are very supportive and wonderful, and that's one of the things I love about this community, how we have each other's backs. So that's pretty cool. Exactly, just in time for the holidays. It's a great Christmas present, I would think. And if I do any signings, I will certainly let everybody know about that for sure. Well, thanks everybody again for your support. I truly appreciate it. Also, what's brewing that's not new, but those of you who weren't here last week, next Monday night, I'm still going to be doing Facebook Live because we got to get through your top 5 favorite moments from the next episode of The Bad Batch, naturally. But so we'll have a live show Monday at the normal time. And then Tuesday, I'm going to have a very special show, Tuesday, June 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be walking you through Galaxy's Edge. I will be doing the show Monday night here at home. And then in the morning, I will get up, get on an airplane, heading to Orlando, the Walt Disney World, and I'm going to be getting some stuff, some exciting stuff for you for the show. But one of the big things will be Tuesday, June 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I will take you around Galaxy's Edge. If you can experience the sights and sounds of it, whether you've ever been there before or this is new to you, I will be walking you around, be your personal tour guide through Galaxy's Edge. That's next Tuesday, June 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So again, 2 live shows next week. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Speaking of cool, the next night, June 30th, will be if you're in the Orlando area and you are familiar with Disney Springs and you know all about Jock Lindsay's. It is the Indiana Jones themed bar slash restaurant, and I will be there from 7 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, June 30th. If you want to learn more and RSVP, go to coffeewithkenobi.com/community. I look forward to seeing you all there. Josh says, you just got back from Orlando just under a week ago. First time in Batu. Got tons of stuff. Oh, man. You got Luke and Obi-Wan Legacy lightsabers. Great. Well, Josh, I hope that you post in the CWK Cafe so we can see the cool stuff that you had. Yeah, we could have ran into each other. Well, one day, man. One day for sure. I hope to meet all of you at some point, whether it's a celebration or at a future Coffee with Kenobi event. Lots of fun ideas. All right. So I think it's time to jump into our top 5 things that we loved about this week's The Bad Batch. So this week is all about top 5 moments from the Bad Batch episode reunion. What an episode. I know that you were all on the edge of your seats, as was I, when we watched this one, because there's a lot of stuff that happened. This show continues to ratchet up the intensity and the drama and the cost of what is going on in this powerful, powerful episode. We've grown to love the members of the Bad Batch so much. And boy, did things take a turn. Did they ever take a turn? So let's go ahead and jump into our top 5s. Number 5 for me was proton torpedoes. Nothing specific, particular, whatever about them. It was just seeing them and knowing, of course, that Luke eventually is going to use one for that 1 in a million shot that's going to blow up the Death Star. But in the meantime, they find a whole bunch of them on Braca, and it was just cool to have that callback. It was just a nice little subtle thing. Not a huge deal, but to me it was just fun. Number 5 for Mason was when Wrecker throws that same torpedo at that clone trooper or stormtrooper with that flamethrower, and he says, "Oh, great shot!" And Mason got a kick of that. That was his number 5. Number 5 for Mary, Wrecker grabbing on the back of the Scrapper's transport. That was a fun one. A little fun chase sequence at the beginning. Number 5 for Amber also was proton torpedoes. Just having them in there. Proton torpedoes mean a lot, of course, to Star Wars fans. We know what that means. Number 5 for Ross, Wrecker teaching Omega how to disarm a thermal explosive, complete with a countdown. He's giving her tough love, just like Echo did with the bow blaster target practice. It's going to pay off. Indeed, it is. Number 5 for Ben, the ion chamber graphics and animation as they started up the engine. I love the colors. It was beautiful. Wasn't it nice? There's lots of love technically about this episode. Jason's 5. Wrecker teasing Omega while training her to disarm explosives. He does so well in the goofy and loving uncle role. I like that. Goofy and loving. I also like that each member of the Bad Batch is training Omega in some way. I like that too. Josh is number 5. Crosshair, wake up. I thought this was some great dialogue by Hunter. I like that too. I was hoping it would work, but obviously no such luck. Number 5 for Minta, proton torpedoes and Wrecker's love for them. That was pretty entertaining. Oh, Jamie's also. A lot of people with the proton torpedo love. Jamie says number 5, proton torpedoes for me as well, especially when Wrecker kissed it. Too funny. That was pretty hilarious. Yes. All right. Interesting. I'm kind of think that's neat that everybody had that for their, or many of you had that for your top 5s. And again, Wrecker throwing the torpedo at the trooper with the flamethrower was Mason's number 5. But number 4 for me is Crosshair's arrival. Now, specifically, when I talk about Crosshair's arrival, there's an image, and you'll know what I'm talking about, where Crosshair is there, and there's these squads of stormtroopers lined up and clone troopers lined up in rows, And he's standing there, and you've got the Imperial ships behind him, and the way it's lit, it just looks like a poster. It's that specific snapshot that is my number 4. It's a really, really gorgeous image. Let's see. Number 4 for Amber. Record teaching Omega. I just love watching them bond and have fun together. I like that too. I think it's cool to see again how Omega interacts with all the different members of the Bad Batch, Clone Force 99, in very different ways. Number 4 for Ross. The soundtrack, it's incredible every week, but I just felt characters and scenes truly come to life through the efforts for this episode. Yes, I like that too, Ross. I hope that they sell like a vinyl or some sort of a thing on Spotify where they have some of the music from this season, because it is pretty cool. Number 4 for Ben, Wrecker's smoke bomb moment. I like how he says, "I'm not crazy," followed by a crazy laugh. I thought that was pretty funny as well. Mary's number 4. Crosshair and all the troopers arriving on Braca. The mad respect for Clone Force 99 that it will take that many of them to take them down. I thought that was cool too. They had to bring that many troopers because they knew how serious the Bad Batch is, how powerful they are. Number 4 for Jason, Echo, Wrecker, and Omega calmly reacting to being spotted by the Scrappers. Also that they use the stun setting on their blasters instead of just killing them. I like that too. Well, that was important because they're not murderers. They are soldiers, as Echo reminds us a lot in this episode, but they do stun, and I think that's cool. Meantime, Omega training to disarm explosives. It's hilarious how Wrecker tricks her. Yeah, and I was wondering as that was unfolding, I thought, is this a joke? Is this really happening? How's this going to play out? And fortunately, it was just fireworks and fun, but of course, just kind of the calm before the storm in this episode. Number 4 for Mason is Crosshair's armor. The armor that Crosshair has now that he's a member of the Empire, it's just very much on display here. It's very, very cool, and Mason loved it. That was his number 4. You probably noticed that Hasbro a couple days ago had a pre-order for the actual Black Series figure of Crosshair in the Imperial armor. Pretty neat stuff. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 3. Number 3 is Stormy Introduction. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the opening sequence very much is reminiscent of a classic novel or a classic Hitchcock film where it's dark and stormy. It's very much a sign of what's going to happen thematically in the episode or the series or the movie or the book, but just kind of gives you right away there's this crazy storm, thunder, lightning, ominous. You just know bad things are going to happen. As soon as I saw that opening sequence, I thought, this is going to be a hard episode. Something bad's going to happen. And that was true. That was true. Let's see. Josh's number 4 is Wrecker and Omega's relationship. He says it's one of the best in the series thus far. This week was no exception. Looks like Wrecker has been nurturing a love of artillery in Omega. I noticed that. That's a good call. Amber is number 3. I'm not crazy, and starts laughing like a crazy uncle. That's the second time that's come up. Pretty funny. Number 3 for Minta, Crosshair's reunion with the Bad Batch. Like that. Mary says, Wrecker training Omega how to disarm a bomb, plus how they are all treating Omega as a regular member of the team, training her and asking her to do different tasks. Good choice. Good choice. Number 3 for Jason, the Clone Wars nostalgia with the tour through the Jedi Cruiser, and Omega looking out over the vast scrapyard of ships. Yeah, I was kind of wishing they'd stick around there for a while and find more stuff, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Number 3 for Ross, the tension building at the Camino cloning facility between Prime Minister Lama Su and Vice Admiral Rampart. The Empire doesn't even pretend they aren't in charge at this point. Yeah, they're like classic archetypal bullies, aren't they? And that's really on display there with Vice Admiral Rampart. Josh, I've never been in an ion engine before. It'd be weirder if you had. Hilarious. When I first heard that, I had to kind of think about what Wrecker was saying. And I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. He's saying, yeah, why would you? Of course you haven't been in an ion engine. How crazy. What a crazy last 10 minutes of this episode. Number 3 for Ben, the ion chamber conversation. Tech saying he couldn't have been clearer. Wrecker telling Omega it would be weirder if she had been in an ion chamber. Tech explaining how cool the ion chamber's engineering is, and Wrecker interrupting. No one cares. I love those moments. Yes, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun moments packed in an episode full of tension and drama and suspense. Number 3 for Mason is, let's see, Oh, when Wrecker picks up those two clones and throws them out the window, kind of played for laughs. Again, another quick, sort of humorous scene in a very intense episode. So that's his number 3. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 2. Number 2 for me is the sound mix editing. So what I mean by that is one of the things I love about A New Hope, if you are a member of the CWK Alliance, you know that there is a Star Wars commentary track available, hosted by me, Tom Gross, and Corey Clubb. And I talk about the sound a lot, but Star Wars is always known for its sound and sound quality. But the sound mix editing, the clicks, the sounds of the armor, the sounds of the weaponry, the ship, all the excitement and explosions, all that sound mix editing was just really good. Like somebody is designing this, and I know the team at Lucasfilm and ILM, David W. Collins, for example, do a fantastic job on the sound mix editing, and it was so good that I put it as my number 2. It's really, really good. Really good. Amber's number 2, Crosshair's Return. Yes, Crosshair's Return brings excitement and brings a lot of terror. Josh, I still don't know what you mean. That's a good quote from the episode 2. Minta's number 2, Omega trying to break through to Crosshair like in the first episode. He seemed like she was breaking through to him until he threatened to shoot her. Yeah, that was pretty ghastly. Shows how serious these chips are. Jason's number 2, the high production quality in the episode and the whole series. The sound effects of the explosives detonating inside the engine chamber, the incredibly lifelike animation, and the first-person point of view through Hunter's helmet, and the haunting music during the credits. I love that too. I'm going to talk about that more in the Coffee with Kenobi breakdown later this week. Ross is number 2, Hunter waking up after being shot. The first-person shooter point of view is terrifying and wonderful in that situation. I feel like I should have had a controller in my hand. Interesting perspective, Ross. I like that. Number 2 for Mary, the entire Ion engine scene, from the moment they go into it through the explosion to separate it for their escape. Very suspenseful, very thrilling. We actually watched Raiders of the Lost Ark on Father's Day. The similar explosives and the tension, the dramatic escapes. That very much reminded me of Indiana Jones. It's a good one, Mary. Number 2 for Ben, Hunter being revived. Not only was it a relief, I really wasn't sure if they'd kill him off so soon, but I love seeing through his eyes as they boarded the shuttle. Yeah, that was pretty scary. Yeah, we haven't heard about a certain bounty hunter, Doros bounty hunter yet, so I'm sure we're about to. Number 2 for Josh, Echo and Hunter talk. Very interesting to see Echo challenge Hunter's decision to work for Sid, and challenging Hunter's belief that their path is different than Rex's. Excuse me. It's building Hunter's character. He still believes that likely to keep Omega safe. We'll need to lay low, not get involved. Yeah, there's a lot to really break down there. Again, I'm going to really talk about this a lot when I look at the episode on the regular podcast, Coffee with Kenobi. But that conversation was important, Josh. That's a good catch. Andrew says the Ion set piece was amazing when it lit up. Whew. Yeah, that was amazing. Very much so. And there's just a lot of classic elements in that Ion set piece. The sound, the music, the lighting, the tension, the drama, and the methods they use to escape. Again, it's a great storytelling when what happens at the beginning pays off throughout the episode and at the end. It's great. I love what they're doing here with this. And Mary says, Andrew, yeah, very suspenseful. Seems like we're getting a lot of suspense in most of the shows. We really are. Number 2 for Mason is Hunter versus Cad Bane. Now, Cad Bane's been mentioned once, but only to say I have a top 5 and I didn't put him in it. So Hunter versus Cad Bane is Mason's number 2. And none of you have talked about Cad Bane really, and I haven't talked about Cad Bane yet really, so I have a feeling here come the dominoes, everybody. My number 1 is the Cad Bane intro. When you see the pan up, you hear that guitar music, you see the hat, and you hear that incredible voice. I was petrified. Everybody knows, if you've been listening to the show for a while, that I love Cad Bane. He's probably my favorite bounty hunter. But my goodness, he was not very nice. Poor Omega. We need to see what's going to happen next week. Hopefully it's resolved. I don't know what's going to happen. What I know is that Cad Bane is there, and his intro was incredible. Josh is saying yep. I'm assuming that you're saying yep to the Cad Bane thing, Josh, most likely. If not, please let us know in the comments. Means is number one, the return of Cad Bane. He hasn't lost his touch one bit. Did he have to kidnap Omega, though? Exactly. Exactly. Ross, wasn't much work to reveal everyone's favorite toothpick chewing, blaster slinging, hat wearing, Duros bounty hunter Cad Bane. He did not disappoint in his 2 minutes. Number one for Jason, the return of Crosshair and Camino to the story, especially the Kaminoan intrigued to try to preserve their cloning contract with the Empire, and Nalase's apparent concern for Omega as a person, not just as Kaminoan property. Very good. Jason, you might be the only one who's not going to have Cad Bane in your number one, which is totally cool. I just think it's fascinating. The one for Amber, Cad Bane. I'm a huge Clone Wars fan and love to see this Duros bounty hunter. Honestly, I don't think anyone thought he would appear. I didn't. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then they had that wide open space, and I just thought, there's too much space here. They're too small in this wide open space. This is a setup for something bad that's going to happen. Ben, the return of Cad Bane in the standoff. I said it in the spoiler thread. I think he's Filoni's evil alter ego in the Star Wars universe with that hat and Western music. Now that is funny. I think he would get a big kick out of that. Anybody else want to weigh in with their number one before we wrap this up? Mason's number one is when Tech is starting to talk and explain things towards the end, and Wrecker's like, no one cares, keep moving, because Wrecker is getting very impatient, and he's over him, and he just wants them to survive and to escape, and Mason got a chuckle out of that. And Craig is here. What's up, man? He says, Cad Bane, this is truly the Clone Wars Season 8. It sure feels that way. Amber thought the music was super cool. Andrew, the showdown between Bane and Hunter, from the wide shot of the standout to the shocking result of Hunter going down, it's just great cinema. It really is. Very good. Ross says, since Friday, every time my cat Okra wants to go outside, I won't let her. I say, sorry, little lady. Good to see you, Craig. I'll be sure to check out my part one of my appearance on Craig's show, reading between the reels, where we talk a lot about The Last Jedi. Josh's number one is Cad Bane. He says, so much to like in this episode. I will say that this episode was the halfway point of the series, of season one. Yes. It's the part where the plot takes a shift and the stakes usually get much better or worse in the show's narrative. Yeah, that would be the climax, the intense moment, the emotional peak of what's going to happen. And then we lead to our denouement, hopefully. We'll see. He says, talk about plot shifts and changes in stakes, plus that long take from Hunter's point of view was fantastic. It was fantastic. So fantastic. Just great. I mean, Mason and I were like, whoa, but we also were kind of curbing our enthusiasm, so to speak, because we know Cad Bane is serious. We know that he's scary. We know that he means business. And, I mean, he took Omega. That stinks. I really want next week to get here so I can find out what's going to happen, because we don't like that. Hopefully Cad Bane will be nice, but I don't speculate on the show, so who knows. Well, next week, again, we're going to have 2 Coffee with Kenobi Facebook Lives. First on Monday at your normal time. We will be talking about your top 5 moments from episode 9 of The Bad Batch, of course. Talking about your top 5 moments from episode 9 of The Bad Batch, so I won't leave you hanging. We're definitely going to still do that. But also, so you got next Monday night, and then next Tuesday night, a week from tomorrow, a special day and time, a bonus CWK Live, Tuesday, June 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 5 o'clock Central Time, naturally. But we're going to tour Galaxy's Edge with me, the sights and sounds of Batuu. I'll be walking you around Galaxy's Edge. So if you've been there before, you'll feel like you're home again. Chewie, we're home. But if you've never been, I'm going to show you around. It's going to be fun. Ross says, an overall theme, Hunter and Crosshair both failing. Not something either of them is accustomed to. We're not accustomed to it. And I'm certainly not accustomed to seeing Crosshair get his comeuppance. So that was pretty surprising, for sure. All right. So there you go. Again, next Monday night, we're going to have the regular Facebook Live. And then Tuesday will be a bonus Facebook Live earlier than usual. 3 hours earlier than usual. And it's going to be me walking you around Galaxy's Edge. So I hope that you will join me for sure. Now let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, this is your chance to ask me anything about Star Wars, The Bad Batch, any questions you have about what's going on in Coffee with Kenobi. All I can say about the expanded Star Wars Character Encyclopedia is that I was one of the contributors to it, and that I'm excited for everybody to see it. That comes out November 2nd. So much more on that. Of course, as we get closer, we're still quite a bit away. Brian says, hello, Brian. What's up, man? He says, there was silence in our house when we heard Bane's voice. Us too, because we thought, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. Ben, so how many coffee mugs do I have? Notice quite the full shelf in the intro this time. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1, 2, 2. I've got about 40, 40 Star Wars coffee mugs. What in the world? I didn't realize that. I've got most of them here in the office. But, Star Wars coffee mug. I mean, it's coffee with Kenobi. Just perfect. I've got a lot of them in my attic. I rotate them around. I have some that I have 2 of, and ones that I drink out of, and one that I keep in as a collector. Believe it or not, I've actually settled down a lot as a collector. But it's hard to kind of lose those old habits. Are you allowed to share who else contributed to the encyclopedia? Well, actually, Ben, it's on Amazon.com. But there's a lot of people. Let's see. We've got Pablo Hidalgo. We've got Amy Rakow. We've got Elizabeth Howitt. And then, Elizabeth Browning and Simon. Oh, gosh. How can I not remember? You'd think I'd be able to remember. In fact, I'll just pull it up for you right now. If you don't actually, you can just go to Amazon and check it out naturally. But it is from, let's see. It's kind of funny that I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember. I just have a lot of, I'm so used to not being allowed to say certain things about it, So I'm looking it up for you right now. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yes. Okay. Yes. How could I forget? So Simon Beecroft, Pablo, Amy Rakow, me, and Elizabeth Dowsett. Yeah, there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen for this one, but it's a great book, a lot of fun. It's already #1 new release on Amazon.com, so that's pretty wonderful. So thank you in advance to everybody who's already pre-ordered their own copy. Amber says Cad Bane or Boba Fett. Oh, Cad Bane, all the way. I've always said that Cad Bane is my favorite bounty hunter, but because he kidnapped Omega, I'm leaning more towards Din Djarin now. But I love Cad Bane. I think he's super cool. And me, yes, you can never have too many mugs. Exactly. Josh, I'm hopefully going to be going to Celebration next year, most likely on Saturday. Never been to anything like it before. What's it like? Like, how do you watch the panels? How does it all work? 2 tickets, buy certain seats in the stages of general admission. Hopefully I'll make it. I'm really excited. Josh, those are great questions. If you go to our Coffee with Kenobi podcast feed, we've got a ton of podcasts over the years about tips and tricks for Celebration. Look at the tips and tricks for Celebration Chicago, because they'll be the most relevant to what's going on now. We'll definitely be breaking that down as we get closer and closer to Celebration. We're going to cover it a lot once we actually get information about it. But if you're there, man, be sure to find me. I'd love to meet you and meet everybody there. It's great. Celebration is absolutely amazing. And since it's at Disneyland, you can make it over to Galaxy's Edge too. He says he got a Black Spire Outpost mug at Disney Springs. Not a caffeine drinker, so it's my go-to water cup. Hey, it's a great mug. It's that nice black one. Amber, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day. I appreciate that. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It was a really nice Father's Day for me, and I hope it was a great one for all of you as well. Well, that is going to do it for this week's Coffee with Kenobi. Facebook Live every Monday night again at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to join me next Monday night for the regular show, and then next Tuesday, again, as I've been saying, because I just want to make sure everybody is able to join us. I'm going to take you around Galaxy's Edge on Facebook Live. I can't wait to do it. It's something I've always wanted to do. I'm very, very excited about it. How about Loki? Loki's great. The second episode was really kind of creepy, though. I definitely looked kind of a little scary, but very fun, very intense. Mary says, if you go to CWK Cafe page, shoot me a DM. I can answer some of those questions for you. Yep, and we'll be answering some of them as well. But when you buy tickets, you don't get tickets to the panels, Josh. It's just kind of general admission, first come, first serve kind of thing. So they don't reserve you a seat, but they do let you be a part of the experience, and it is quite an experience for sure. Amber says, can't go to Celebration, so I think I might go the next year. Yeah, I don't know when the next one will be after this one, but it sure is great fun. For sure, you'll absolutely love it. Brian says, always a great way to start the week. Brian, thank you so much because of people like you joining me. I love it so much. I hope that everybody next week brings a friend Let them know about what's going on Facebook Live and Coffee with Kenobi. The more people we have in this wonderful community, the better. May the force be with you, Minta. Have an awesome week to you too, Ross. Thanks so much. Jason says, have a great night, everyone. It's always good to be here with you. It's great to be here with you, my friend. So much so. You guys make my Star Wars fandom, you really enrich it so much. This community we have, and I'm very, very grateful. Celebration is the best. Andrew, are you going? Did we already talk about this? Are you going, man? Hopefully you are. Murray, have a great week. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you next Monday night and next Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember, this is the podcast you're looking for. We'll see you very soon.